Elite Eight.
Just continue on it. Please welcome our coach, Bruce Pearl. You know, it's one of your favorite stops every year. Maybe not so much this year, but the Stegman Coliseum, and all these Atlanta fans come and support Tennessee over there against the Georgia Bulldogs.
That beautiful ring of orange up on the top of that building. Is that going to piss the dogs off or what? And then, of course, you know, they actually had to make a rule. And that's Bob, what was the deal? They made an SEC
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. It's the Bruce Pearl. He's got two rules. One is
keep my shirt on.
Well, yeah, that's here's the deal. So, first year Bruce is coaching. We come down here, beat Georgia, but we don't do his postgame. So all you fans are there, can't hear the postgame. Next year, we bring down a speaker, and we put up the speaker, and so the speaker, we're pumping the postgame show, if you guys remember, into the stands. Poor Dennis Felton is sitting there with about 2 Georgia fans in the arena, and we got about 1,000 listening to Bruce do his postgame. So Bruce says, you know, we're going to Vanderbilt. That's not nearly enough speakers. So we go to Vanderbilt. Now we've got to bring 2 speakers. Kevin Stallings didn't think that was at all funny.
Yeah. You think I cared about that?
No, not a bit. But the next week, we get a letter from Mike's Live. No longer will speakers be allowed on post-game trips, thanks to Bruce Pearl. How about that?
This is also probably my favorite stop on the Big Orange Caravan for lots of reasons. The folks that do the organizing here are really on top of their game, and they work really hard to put this thing together. And I always want to make sure that they're going to get the right group of speakers, make sure that we're well represented from the athletic program. So to make sure that the speakers were all lined up and set, they called the boss, Mike Hamilton. They said, hey, you think there's a chance, you know, that we're going to get that great basketball coach of yours to come on down again this year? And he said, well, Pat Summitt's not available, but we can send him. So here I am again. Holly does a great job representing Pat.
Yeah, she does.
Except Holly's got some stories she won't tell you right here. I'll tell you the thing about Pat. You want to ask me a question? Or am I going to It's like our post-game show. I just asked you one question, 25 minutes later, we're done. Not as the sponsors. The thing about Pat is I've never met anybody that was as successful at what she does, who is as humble and hungry as she is. She acts and works like she's not accomplished anything in her profession. And she sets the bar so high in so many ways for the people that she's around. She just demands excellence, and she's inspiring. She's as good as anything you possibly even begin to hear about. So we're blessed to have Pat and have on our staff.
Indeed, and you have preached, and Pat preaches, and Derek is the same thing. It's a family type deal. I mean, you guys work so well together. You help each other in recruiting because you have to.
There's no question, and that is different. There are lots of things that's different, and Derek's come in and recognized some things about Tennessee from afar. He's also recognized some things, now that he's up close and personal with it. Wondering, why do our Tennessee athletes who go on in the NFL, why do they wear Tennessee on their sleeve? Why do you just know Peyton Manning played at Tennessee? And it's because of their experience in Knoxville and the affection of our fans, and they leave and they're just unbelievable ambassadors. And I know when I got here, I counted on Coach Fulton, I counted on Coach Summit to help guide me, and so on and so forth. And I don't know if there's much I'm going to be able to do to help this guy we got right now. Because let me tell you something, Derek has been here for a very short period of time. He flat out gets it. He's an SEC guy. Okay? He understands. and he recognizes already the great strengths, and he also understands some of our challenges. And he's going to fix those challenges. And he's going to do it with a foundation that's there. But just like when our basketball team went through a really challenging time this January, and it was a challenging time. We were down 6 scholarship players and 3 walk-ons. And we're about ready to take on Charlotte and Kansas and Ole Miss and Auburn. And we had 4 straight sellout crowds for Charlotte and Kansas and Auburn and Ole Miss. And when I looked up in the stands, I said, it is great to be at Tennessee Ball. It may be 6 scholarships. There's 21,000 people in the building. So here's the deal. We're going to get that football program going, and Coach is going to talk about it in a second. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be at the first game. I'm going to be at the second game. I'm going to be at every single game that they play, because they're going to need us. They're going to need us this year. We're going to stay behind our team and stay behind Coach and his coaching staff.
Indeed, indeed.
Sell it out.
Sell out. That's right.
Proud.
Bruce, we were just talking about Holly and what she and Nikki are doing for cancer research. I thought I was going to just give you a moment to talk about a program that you and your wife, Brandy, are really behind. It's the Outlet program. In fact, I saw a couple T-shirts out here tonight. Talk about the inspiration behind that program and how much good it's doing for cancer research in Knoxville and in the state.
Well, the Outlet program started up a couple of years ago, and it really got started after we lost to Ohio State a couple of years ago in the Sweet 16, when our athletic director and the team doctor pulled me and Chris Lofton and his family into an office in a hotel in San Antonio and said, we got an issue, we got a problem, and we got to deal with it right now. Chris came up positive on a drug test in the NCAA tournament. And he said, basically, there are 3 options. Number 1, you took some sort of a steroid or something that's got your adrenaline glands going nuts. Number 2, you're pregnant. And when we heard number 3, we were rooting for number 2. Or you had testicular cancer. And sure enough, we went back to Knoxville, and at the University of Tennessee Medical Center, Chris was diagnosed. He was immediately treated with surgery and radiation. It all happened very, very quietly. It took a long period of time. Chris started off his senior year, and he wasn't the same Chris Lofton, and nobody knew that kid had been battling for his life and battling cancer. And so we just said, no, we got to do something about this. We got to just do something about this, because we're so proud of Chris for the battle that he fought. And we also wanted anybody else in Knoxville to be able to get that kind of care or better. So we just got involved at UT Hospital. And we went over to the chemo huts, and we went to the radiation. And the scariest part about it was there was many people in the waiting room as they were in the chairs receiving chemo. Said, no way. This is not wrong. These people should not have to wait. And Randy and I, we committed to either donating or raising $1 million in 4 years. I hope I can raise most of it. But we're going to do that through the Outlet program. So buy a T-shirt that says Outlet, or when you see somebody that has a T-shirt that says Outlet, thank them for helping us battle cancer to the UT Medical Center.
It's been a great program, and we ought to thank Coach Pearl and Brandy. They're so dedicated.
It's been great. The response has been terrific, and we got lots of good things to come with that. So it's been a good deal. Our basketball team, 3 out of the last 4 years has won the Community Service Award, and it's through programs like Outlive or different things that we do. And I know it's going to be hard to hold on to that trophy now that Coach Dooley's in town, because I know what he's going to get his kids to do. We have a responsibility. Our kids are tall, dark, and handsome, most of them. Some of them aren't tall enough, but they're dark and handsome. And they're blessed. And blessed. And the best thing we can do to teach them is to take advantage of the blessings that the Lord's given them, to take full advantage of it, and also to give back. And our guys are doing a pretty good job of that.
They are. Indeed they are.